When it comes to pure power amplifiers, there's something for every budget, from affordable workhorses to no-compromise behemoths. In this epic countdown, we'll start at the budget end and climb to the summit of cost-no-object designs, moving from the most budget-friendly to the most extravagant high-end power amps. Let's dive in. For those seeking an affordable boost in power, the Emotiva BasX A3 Plus delivers a lot of bang for the buck. It's a 3-channel Class AB amplifier, ideal for augmenting an AV receiver's front channels or powering a 3.1 setup. Don't let the price fool you. The BasX A3 Plus outputs a solid 140 watts per channel into 8 ohms, or 200 watts into 4 ohms, ensuring clean, ample power for an immersive audio experience. Emotiva even added balanced XLR inputs on the Plus model for better noise rejection and integration with higher-end gear. With its robust linear power supply, featuring a hefty toroidal transformer and heavy steel chassis, the A3 Plus exemplifies how budget amps can still offer audiophile-grade design. It's perfect for newcomers building their first separate system, providing smooth, detailed sound without breaking the bank. First up, the BasX A3 Plus proves that budget-friendly doesn't mean cutting corners on performance.
Now that we've done an unboxing of the A3 Plus, let's go over some reasons why you'd want to get into the A3 Plus. Starting out right away, the biggest reason is probably because of the XLR inputs on the unit. Yes, that's right. The previous A3 only had RCA inputs, but now we've added XLR inputs and also kept the RCA inputs for increased flexibility and ease of use, meaning you can natively connect the A3 Plus now to a processor that has XLR outputs. Another key reason why you'd want the A3 Plus is because of its size and power. The unit is a 2RU chassis, which is rack mountable, and it fits in a wide variety of racks or entertainment centers. Speaking of power, the unit has 140 watts per channel 8 ohms and 200 watts per channel 4 ohms. Both power ratings are with all channels driven. And the final reason you'd want to get into the A3 Plus is because of the improved power supply. We've made tweaks to the power supply so you get that same strong power and great dynamics without sacrificing efficiency.
Next up, we revisit a classic British duo that's been brought back for modern times, the Quad 33 preamp and 303 power amplifier. Originally launched in the late 1960s, the 303 power amp became famous for its straight wire with gain philosophy and low distortion design. In fact, Quad touted the original 303 as the world's first low-distortion transistor amplifier, delivering about 50 watts per channel into 8 ohms, rising to about 70 watts into 4 ohms. Modest by today's standards, but beloved for its musicality. The newly reissued Quad 303 stays true to that heritage, even allowing bridge mode to combine 2 units for about 140 watts into 8 ohms if you need more grunt. Fans adore the Quad for its rich, warm sound and timeless styling, complete with the retro orange accents and industrial gray chassis. Paired with the matching 33 preamp, this combo oozes nostalgia while offering updated connectivity and reliability for modern audiophiles. In short, the Quad 303 proves that sometimes old-school engineering, when refined for today, can hold its own even in the digital age, delivering a musical experience that is utterly classic.
These iconic British audio systems, first launched in 1967, revolutionized sound with their groundbreaking transistor-based design. The Quad 33 preamp and 303 power amp changed the game in an era dominated by valve amplifiers. Their major appeal being their separate preamp and power amp design, an approach rarely seen at the time. Their smooth, warm sound was unlike anything else, and it quickly earned them a spot in the hearts of audiophiles worldwide. In 1969, they won the prestigious Council of Industrial Design Award, and the 33's iconic design was even featured at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Now, Quad's engineers have set out to preserve the essence of these classics, while introducing the latest technological advances. Neatly and expertly wrapped in a truly stunning industrial design that echoes the past and embraces the future. Designed by a team with over 100 years of Quad-exclusive design and service experience, this new edition stays true to its roots, but embraces modern features. The Caseworks grey colour is upgraded to a matte silver, while the distinctive orange buttons have been refreshed with modern LEDs, giving them a subtle yet striking glow. The 303's vertical orientation and signature heatsink fins remain, but now with even more style. The result is a sleek, modern design that still feels unmistakably vintage. Under the hood, the new iterations are equipped with next-generation technology, while keeping the soul of the original. The 33 now features quad tilt control, bass adjust and balance controls, as well as a thoroughly modern low-noise phono stage and a headphone amplifier as part of its fully analog design, whether you're spinning vinyl or streaming digital files. The backlit LCD strip and illuminated buttons represents all parameters and input options with intuitive detail. The updated Quad 303 follows the original design principles and is faithful to the original in concept and delivery. The quad-symmetrical triples topology is employed to provide a completely symmetrical output stage, greatly reducing distortion and rendering the resting current independent of output transistor temperature. This development enables the designers to reduce distortion to emphatically low levels without sacrificing stability and to maintain this excellence under all dynamic conditions. The new Quad 33 and 303 don't just honor the legacy of their iconic predecessors, they elevate it. With improved clarity, detail, and dynamic impact, the 33 and 303 will provide an immersive listening experience that captivates audiophiles for decades, just as the originals have done since 1967.
Now for a home theater powerhouse, the Emotiva XPA7 Gen 3. This 7-channel amplifier is a bestseller for good reason. It packs serious muscle for multi-channel setups at a very reasonable cost per channel. Emotiva's modular design gives the XPA7 200 watts per channel, 8 ohms, with all 7 channels driven, and up to 300 watts per channel when using fewer channels at once. In other words, it's got ample headroom to drive a full 7.1 system with authority. The XPA7 features a high-efficiency switch mode power supply and Class H topology, meaning it runs cool and delivers bursts of power only when needed, a smart approach to keeping distortion low and dynamics high. Technically, it's rated at 200 watts RMS per channel into 8 ohms, all channels driven, and 320 watts into 4 ohms for those harder to drive speakers. Users love its clean, neutral sound and the massive upgrade it provides over typical AV receiver internal amps. If you want to give your home theater a serious audiophile boost without venturing into ultra-pricey territory, the XPA7 Gen 3 is a compelling choice that offers 7 channels of slam and clarity. This Emotiva proves you can achieve cinema-level power at home on a relative budget.
In today's video, we're going to go over why the XPA amplifier is such a unique amplifier. We're going to touch on its modular construction, its high power output, XLR and RCA connection options, and its high efficiency nature. Let's dive into why you need it in your system today. So what does an amp do? An amplifier is designed to drive power to your speakers. Having a high power amplifier like the XPA amplifiers increases the dynamic headroom in your system. It's essentially like having a high horsepower engine in your car. This also expands the soundstage in your system, making your music and movies larger than the room they're in. The XPA series amplifiers are flagship, best-selling amplifiers. These perform better than similar amplifiers in their class that are 2 to 4 times the price. And they just so happen to be made by hand in our facility, right here in Franklin, Tennessee. The modular Gen 3 XPA amps are based on our legendary award-winning XPA amplifier architecture. So what makes our XPA amps so unique? The modular no planned obsolescence platform allows you to modify the amplifier to your system needs. When you purchase an XPA, the 7-slotted chassis allows you to mix and match mono and stereo modules featuring both balanced XLR and single-ended RCA inputs, and allows you to create an amplifier anywhere from 1 to 14 channels with various combinations in between. These modules are powered by a highly efficient, super cool, and super quiet 3 kilowatt switch mode power supply. Here we have an empty XPA chassis, and around me we have all of the different modules needed to create various combinations. Let's follow this amplifier through a journey, starting with a 2-channel version of this amp, all the way up to an advanced multi-channel amplifier that can be used for a Dolby Atmos system. Let's start by making an XPA2. I'm going to go ahead and grab 2 modules here. Now, of course, there's a lot more wiring and there's a lot more hardware needed to actually physically install these, but I'm just going to set these in here so you get the idea. To make it look like an XPA2. This amplifier is fantastic if you're just getting into 2-channel and you need a high output amplifier, or if you want to add high power to your left and right channels in your home theater. all right? But now speaking of home theater, let's say you wanted to dig into something where you had high power but multiple channels and you wanted to power that bed layer, okay? Let's turn this into an XPA5. Grab a few more modules here that I have on the side. Gently set these in here, be a little careful. Don't want to scuff them and make a mess. I'll grab this other one here. Oop, drop it in. And again, there's more wiring and hardware that goes into this, but here we get the idea of an XPA5. Again, using the same chassis, now we created a multi-channel amplifier that has high power, not as much as the XPA2. It's about 250 watts of channel 8 ohms, and the XPA2 is about 300 watts of channel 8 ohms. But again, with this, you can power a nice bed layer system, all right? Or if you don't have an Atmos system, this again powers a great bed layer. Now, speaking of Atmos though, let's say you wanted to really go crazy or get intense and you wanted to build out an amplifier that can actually power something like a 7.1.4 system, okay? We can build out an XPA11. So to do that, this is gonna take a little coordination, but we can do it. I'm gonna remove 2 modules, okay? And then we're gonna drop in a few stereo modules, okay? Now these stereo modules, again, these are a little lower in power output, but what's cool about them is that they have 2 individual channels per amp module, which is pretty slick. I might be caught on something down there. Oh, there we go. And we're gonna drop this one in on the side first, so I can sneak this last one into the amplifier right here, being very careful not to bump any of the components. And just like that, we now have an XPA11. Again, this is great for powering something like a 7.1.4 system. Kind of how that would look is we have our 3 high power mono modules, which is great for the left, center, right channels where the power is needed the most in a surround sound system. And then we have our 4 stereo modules that will power the remaining surround channels and those 4 Atmos channels. And so there you can see this amplifier, this same chassis went through a journey starting with being a 2-channel all the way up to a multi-channel amplifier and another variation in between for powering various types of systems. And there you have it. The flexibility that XPA provides is the benchmark for tremendous value in the hi-fi amplifier market. For a lot less than the competition, you can get into the performance and efficiency of the XPA amplifiers. So what are you waiting for? Find out for yourself and head to emotiva.com today to get into our XPA amplifiers with our free 30-day in-home trial and discover how XPA can take your system up a notch, or many. From all of us at Emotiva, happy listening.
Moving on to a modern hi-fi stereo amp, we have the NAD C298, which is noteworthy for using Purifi Eigentakt Class D technology. Don't let its unassuming looks fool you. Under the hood, the C298 is packing some of the cleanest and most efficient amplification available today. It outputs 185 watts times 2 into 8 ohms, 340 watts times 2 into 4 ohms, with vanishingly low distortion and noise thanks to Bruno Putzis' Eigentakt design. This means wide dynamic range and an ultra-black background, so subtle musical details come through brilliantly. One cool trick, the C298 can be bridged into a mono amp delivering 620 watts into 8 ohms, so you can buy a second unit later and have an immensely powerful monoblock pair. NAD has always been about value and sound quality, and the C298 exemplifies that ethos with state-of-the-art engineering at a mid-level price. Technically accurate and sonically neutral, it's an amplifier that measures as impressively as it sounds, an amazing option for stereo listeners who want high-end performance without a sky-high cost. As always, you can find all the links to the products that are mentioned in this video right in the description and in the pinned comment down below. Another entrant in the mid-2K range is the Eversolo AMP-F10, a newcomer turning heads with its blend of brute force and finesse. The AMP-F10 is a dual mono-class AB design that's all about delivering big power with low distortion. Each channel comes out up to 320 watts into 4 ohms with 950 watts available in bridge mode, backed by a huge 1,000-watt linear power supply and efficient heat management. In practice, that means the Eversolo can drive demanding speakers with ease. Deep controlled bass and effortless dynamics are its forte. It boasts an ultra-low THD of 0.008% and a 113 decibel signal-to-noise ratio, so you get clean noise-free sound even at low volumes. Inside, you'll find premium components like multiple MOSFET output transistors and a sophisticated DC filtering circuit that keeps the toroidal transformers hum at bay. The result is an amp that combines brawny output with audiophile refinement, giving you smooth highs, rich mids, and authoritative lows. The AMP-F10 is relatively new on the scene, but it's quickly gaining a reputation as a sleeper amp that can go toe-to-toe with bigger brand names. If you're after reference caliber specs and performance in a mid-price package, Eversolo's entry is definitely one to consider. If your system is leaning multi-channel, Anthem's MCA 525 Gen 2 is a 5-channel amplifier that brings serious high-current capability to home theaters and music alike. Anthem designed the MCA Gen 2 series with massive dual toroidal transformers. The 5-channel model is essentially a 3-channel and 2-channel amp in one heavy chassis. The result is a beast that delivers 225 watts per channel into 8 ohms, 400 watts per channel into 4 ohms, and a stunning 600 watts per channel into 2 ohms with all channels driven. Those numbers are almost unheard of at this price point. Indeed, Anthem's design uses 8 high-current bipolar output transistors per channel, giving it current to burn and a noise floor as low as 120 decibel signal-to-noise ratio. Sonically, the MCA series is praised for its dynamic, transparent sound.
And now for something a little different, the Benchmark AHB2. While it's not high wattage, it redefines quiet and clean in amplification by utilizing THX AAA technology for vanishingly low distortion. Its numbers are astonishing. A dynamic range of 132 decibels means this amp is 10 to 30 decibels quieter in background noise than even the best conventional amps. Power output is rated at 100 watts times 2 into 8 ohms, and if you need more, 2 AHB2s can be bridged for 380 watts into 8 ohms as monoblocks. But the magic of the AHB2 isn't just raw watts, it's the utter transparency and speed of its delivery with 0.0003% THD at full output. Many describe the sound as wire with gain, essentially meaning you hear your source and speakers with no editorializing from the amp.
Like the rest of our products, the AHB2 comes in a black or silver finish. Now the AHB2 can drive a wide range of speakers. Here at our offices and at trade shows, the AHB2 has driven bookshelf speakers, tower speakers, Magnepans, and Martin Logan electrostatics. Right behind me in our listening room, we have a great pair of PMC MB2S 3-way speakers. In another listening room, we have a pair of Westlake studio monitors, which we drive using a monoblock setup. And we also have the Note line arrays by Laufer Technic, which are rated at 2.4 ohms, and the AHB2 has no trouble running them. Whatever type of speakers you're using, we're confident that the AHB2 will get the job done. Now let's have a look at the rear panel. We have one pair of balanced XLR inputs, and if you need to connect a device that has only unbalanced outputs, we do have an RCA to XLR adapter cable that will allow you to connect those devices. For the outputs, we have 2 pairs of binding posts. If you're going to be using the binding posts, then we recommend using locking banana plug connectors. Our lab tests show that locking banana plugs provide the best electrical connection to binding posts. If you're looking for the best connection, we recommend using the speak-on connectors. We have provided 3 speak-on outputs for left, right, and mono. And if your speakers have binding posts, we recommend using our speak-on to locking banana plug cable. We have a switch for mono or stereo. We also have a sensitivity switch that changes the gain of the amplifier. Next to the sensitivity switch, there are VRMS numbers which represent the input voltage required to drive the AHB2 to full rated power. Again, virtually all RCA outputs are calibrated to deliver 2 volts RMS. If you're using that, put the switch in the top position. Most Hi-Fi XLR outputs are calibrated to deliver 4 volts RMS. If that's your setup, then put the switch in the middle position. And Benchmark XLR outputs are calibrated to deliver 12.28 volts RMS. If you have an all benchmark system, then put the switch in the bottom position. There are a number of combinations that you can find to fit your needs. And some other things to consider are, am I looking to keep costs down? If that's the case, you can go with a 2-piece system. If you're looking for the ultimate in performance, you can go with a 3-piece system. How many digital devices do I use? How many analog devices do I use? Etc. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. If I didn't cover any questions you may have had, you can check out our other videos or just give us a call. We are at 1-800-262-4675, or you can email us at sales@benchmarkmedia.com. Thanks for watching.
Stepping up in build and legacy, Parasound's Halo A21 Plus is a Class AB bruiser designed by the legendary John Curl. At 71 pounds of solid construction, the A21 Plus is literally a heavy hitter, focused on current delivery and headroom. It outputs a whopping 300 watts per channel into 8 ohms, 500 watts into 4 ohms, and an incredible 1,000 watts when bridged into 8 ohms. The amp runs in high bias class A/AB, giving you the first portion of power in pure class A for smoothness, then plenty of class AB for big transients. Technically, Parasound rates it for 60 amps of peak current per channel, meaning it can handle tough speaker loads with ease. Listeners often describe the sound as warm, punchy, and full-bodied, excelling at controlling bass drivers while painting a wide, deep soundstage.
Climbing into the 5K tier, Cambridge Audio's Edge W represents the company's highest-end pure power amp, and it's all about refinement and simplicity. The Edge W is 100 watts per channel into 8-ohm design, 200 watts into 4 ohms, that focuses on a short signal path. Only 14 components are in series between input and output. Cambridge uses a unique Class XA topology here, a refined Class AB that biases in a way to eliminate crossover distortion to unaudible levels. It's also a striking piece of gear visually, with a thick curved front panel and dual concentric toroidal transformers inside, arranged in opposing orientation to cancel hum. This amplifier exemplifies a modern British sound, clean, controlled, but with a hint of warmth and musicality.
In this short film, we'll be taking a closer look at the Edge W power amp from Cambridge Audio. Power amplifier has one job: amplifying the signal from a preamplifier to a level where it can drive speakers. A key engineering principle at Cambridge Audio is to keep the signal path as short as possible. The aim is to let more of the original recording reach the listener. This has never been better realised than it is with the Edge W. In fact, the number of components in the Edge W signal chain is just 14. Compare that to a traditional amplifier, which would have 40 or 50 components in the way of your music. The end result is a power amplifier that, when partnered with the equally innovative Edge NQ preamplifier and network player, delivers a punchy, clean, neutral audio experience beautifully aligned to the original studio recording, the very definition of great British sound. To experience Edge for yourself, why not book an audition? Visit cambridgeaudio.com to find your local Edge dealer.
No list would be complete without a Pass Labs entry, and the XA25 is perhaps the most attainable way into Nelson Pass's legendary designs. The XA25 is a pure Class A stereo amplifier that outputs 25 watts per channel into 8 ohms, but these are high-current pass watts capable of doubling to 50 watts into 4 ohms and driving real-world speakers better than some higher-rated amps. The appeal of the XA25 is its stunning transparency and musical liquid mid-range, hallmarks of Class A done right. With only 2 gain stages and no overall feedback, the circuit is super simple and the sound is often described as organic and holographic. Think of the BasX A25 as an artisan amp, not about brute force but about finesse and purity for those who value quality of watt over quantity. Stepping up further, the Mark Levinson number 5302 delivers 135 watts per channel into 8 ohms, renowned for exceptional clarity, controlled dynamics, and nuanced soundstage. Built with meticulous precision, its dual monaural design ensures pristine channel separation, low distortion, and outstanding audio purity. Combining robust power output with transparent articulate audio reproduction, it reflects Levinson's dedication to sonic excellence, ideal for listeners seeking realism and sophisticated detail.
The amplifier is the final stage of the signal path. It needs to power the loudspeakers. It needs to have plenty of available power to respond to the needs and the dynamics of the material.
The output stage was designed specifically to tolerate a wide range of loudspeaker impedance variations.
The number 5302 achieves this with a bridgeable Class AB design.
The amplifier industrial design for me is a great distillation of where Mark Levinson has been and kind of where we're going. The handles are a beautiful new design that we've implemented for this series of product.
They're each machined out of solid aluminum and blasted to match the knobs on the preamplifier.
What I really like about the number 5302 is its flexibility. Sonically superb. The bass you get out of that amplifier and the width of image is truly amazing.
The number 5302 was designed specifically for bridged mono operation in addition. When we select that mode of operation, we use a different set of windings on the transformer, which are optimized for mono. And under those conditions, the number 5302 will deliver 275 watts into 8 ohms or 550 watts mono into 4 ohms. By making the number 5302 bridgeable, we're also offering great flexibility. A customer could buy a 5302, use it as a stereo amp, and later purchase a second unit and run both of them in bridged mono.
You could even use it with an integrated amplifier like the 5805 and use it as a biamp situation where it's driving the low end, your 5805, and a biamp is driving the top end. There's a lot of ways you can use the number 5302.
The number 5302 amplifier is, of course, based extensively on the platform development we did for the number 5805 integrated amp. However, the number 5302 allows us to use a much bigger power supply. It's important to think of the power supply in an amplifier as being what provides the power to the speakers themselves, with the amplifier circuit sort of functioning as a faucet, controlling that power.
Most other amplifiers only have a power button. The number 5302 has IP, RS-232, and a 12-volt trigger to turn it on and off. We also have an internal system web page that an advanced user could use to see the status operation of the unit. Number 5302 and all of our amplifiers have a processor in it that does sensing of all the communications, but there's also a lot of work done by the processor to take care of safety features in the unit, make sure it doesn't get too hot, there's not too much current being pulled out of it.
So in a power amplifier, especially one with a lot of Class A bias, like the number 5302, we need some good heat sinks. As you'll notice, the heat sinks are external, they're robust, they're nice to look at, they're beautifully finished.
The external heat sinks look great and perform great, and they give the amplifier a powerful appearance that is form-following function.
With cosmetic-grade heat sinks, a glass display, and solid aluminum handles, the number 5302 blends harmoniously with the rest of the 5000 series, at the crossroads of where science meets art.
Following closely, Marantz's Amp 20 delivers 200 watts per channel into 8 ohms, featuring Class D amplification with advanced feedback topology. Renowned for efficiency, low heat generation, and extraordinary dynamic capability, it ensures precise audio reproduction and effortless power delivery. Characterized by clarity, depth, and musical warmth, it embodies Marantz's signature sound, balancing robust performance with refined sonic sophistication.
From the same NAD family as the C298, but on a full home theater scale, the Masters M28 is a 7-channel amplifier that could be called the gentle giant. It employs 7 Purifi Eigentakt Class D modules, each rated at 200 watts into 8 ohms and around 340 watts into 4 ohms. This provides clean, low distortion power to every speaker in a 7.1 setup. The M28 offers exceptional performance with its lack of noise and distortion across all channels. It can deliver over 700 watts into difficult loads for dynamic peaks, ensuring musical crescendos and explosions retain their full impact. The high efficiency of the Eigentakt modules means the M28 runs cool. As we ascend into the serious high-end, we encounter the Michi M8 monoblock amplifiers from Rotel's Flagship line. These amplifiers are immense in both size, at over 130 pounds each, and output. Each Michi M8 is a Class AB design rated at 1080 watts into 8 ohms and a staggering 1800 watts into 4 ohms. These are statement amplifiers with overbuilt power supplies featuring large transformers and capacitor banks. While the bass slam is extraordinary, the refinement in the mids and highs is also a pleasant surprise for such a powerhouse. The Michi M8 can drive any speaker ever made and remain stable even into 2 ohm loads. Parasound's flagship, the Halo JC1 Plus, is a 450-watt into 8-ohm monoblock that represents the culmination of legendary designer John Curl's work. Weighing nearly 90 pounds, each JC1 Plus runs in pure Class A for the first 25 watts before shifting into Class AB for its full power. This provides Class A sweetness for most listening, with massive headroom for dynamics, 850 watts into 4 ohms and 1300 watts into 2 ohms. It boasts an extremely high peak current of 180 amps, enabling it to handle speakers with very low impedance dips. The sound is characterized as effortless, with a slightly warm natural tone, a huge soundstage, and an iron grip on the bass. Yamaha's M5000 stereo power amplifier, part of its flagship 5000 series, honors the golden age of audio with modern engineering. It delivers 100 watts per channel into 8 ohm, 200 watts into 4 ohm in a fully balanced dual mono configuration. The front features large vintage-style analog VU meters. Inside, the build is meticulous, with a massive toroidal transformer and a symmetric layout to isolate channels and reduce noise. Yamaha focused on reducing impedance in the signal path, contributing to a dynamically free and transparent sound. Reviewers note an organic quality, blending Yamaha's neutrality with a touch of warmth and exceptional detail. Next in line, the Luxman M10X offers 150 watts per channel into 8 ohms, boasting Class AB topology with enhanced linear amplification circuitry. Known for exceptional smoothness and refined total balance, it provides precise bass control, transparent mids, and silky highs. Meticulously built with Luxman's legendary craftsmanship, it features dual mono construction for superior channel separation and minimal interference, ideal for discerning audiophiles seeking emotionally engaging musical reproduction.
Now we arrive at a truly iconic name in amplification, McIntosh. The MC462 is the brand's most powerful stereo amplifier, delivering a robust 450 watts per channel into 2, 4, or 8 ohms. This consistent power delivery, regardless of speaker impedance, is achieved through McIntosh's signature autoformer technology. The MC462 features a quad-balanced design that cancels noise and distortion, contributing to a low noise floor and solid stereo imaging. An update from its predecessor includes a 50% increase in filter capacitance, resulting in a 66% boost in dynamic headroom. This allows the amp to handle explosive transients with ease. The hallmark McIntosh sound is smooth, slightly warm, and highly detailed.
From the lab of Nelson Pass comes the Pass Lab's XA60.8, a pair of 60-watt Class A monoblocks that showcase why the brand has a cult following. Each monoblock is rated at 60 watt into 8 ohms in pure Class A, doubling to approximately 120 watt into 4 ohms and handling peaks beyond that in the Class AB region. Utilizing Pass's patented supersymmetric circuit, the XA60.8 offers extremely low distortion and a sweet sound.
Reviewers note a lush mid-range, tight, textured bass, and airy highs. While they run hot and draw substantial power, they reward listeners with a holographic soundstage and excellent low-level detail retrieval, feeling more powerful than their 60-watt rating suggests. Lumin, known for high-end network players, entered the amplification market with the Lumin amp, a serious statement piece. This Class AB stereo amplifier delivers 160 watts per channel into 8 ohms and 320 watts into 4 ohms. It is a true dual mono design with separate oversized toroidal transformers and power supplies for each channel to ensure superb separation and imaging. The amp operates in a fully balanced differential mode and uses no global negative feedback, which is often associated with a more natural sound. The sound is described as extremely transparent and dynamic, with tight bass and an open top end, designed to complement Lumin's highly resolving source components. At the 20K mark, Hegel's H30A from Norway commands attention. This versatile flagship can be used as a stereo amplifier, delivering 300 watts times 2 into 8 ohms, or as a monoblock, where a pair can output a crushing 1100 watts into 8 ohms. The A version features a lower noise floor and an upgraded power supply over its predecessor. It incorporates Hegel's patented Sound Engine 2 technology, a form of feed-forward error correction that cancels distortion in real time. This gives it the musicality of Class A with the efficiency of Class AB. The sound is described as effortlessly dynamic and neutral, with a vice-like grip on bass, allowing the amplifier to disappear and transparently drive any speaker.
Accuphase of Japan is synonymous with build quality and sonic purity, and their P7500 stereo amp is a testament to this legacy. This Class AB amplifier is rated at 300 watts per channel into 8 ohms, doubling down to 600 watts into 4 ohms and 900 watts into 2 ohms, indicating a power supply capable of immense current delivery. It utilizes an instrumentation amplifier topology that is fully balanced from input to output, resulting in incredibly low noise and distortion. The P7500 has the trademark Accuphase sound, smooth, grain-free highs, a rich mid-range, and powerful yet nuanced bass, all set against a velvet black background. The champagne gold faceplate and large analog meters add to its classic, luxurious appeal.
Entering the realm of true cost-no-object gear, Chord Electronics Ultima 2 monoblocks make a bold statement. These monoblocks deliver 750 watts into 8 ohms and approximately 1300 watts into 4 ohms. They are a fully balanced design and utilize Chord's signature high-frequency switch mode power supplies, which provide enormous power with extremely fast response. The result is an amplifier with phenomenal grip, lightning-fast transient response, and very low distortion. The sound is described as transparent and expansive, capable of rendering micro details while unleashing brute force when required. The stunning design with polished metal fins and LED accents makes them visually unique.
The Griffin Apex stereo amplifier from Denmark is often considered one of the ultimate amplifiers in the world. Even the stereo version is massive, outputting 210 watts per channel into 8 ohms, all in pure Class A. Its power scales impressively to 420 watts into 4 ohms, 800 watts into 2 ohms, and an almost unbelievable 1,490 watts into 1 ohm. This is achieved with 32 high-current bipolar transistors per channel and a 1,040,000 microfarad capacitor bank. It does all this with the seductive liquid sound of Class A. The Apex is praised for its microscopic detail retrieval and a noise floor so low that music seems to emerge from a vacuum.
It has always been Griffin's mission to achieve the highest possible level of sound quality, regardless of cost. With Apex, mono, and stereo, Griffin Audio Designs has elevated pure Class A power amplification, but beyond what was previously considered possible.
From Boulder Amplifiers in Colorado comes the 3060 Stereo Power Amplifier, a legendary beast embodying a no-limits philosophy. This is a pure Class A amplifier through its full power range, outputting roughly 900 watts per channel into 8 ohms in Class A, an almost unheard of feat. To achieve this, the 3060 is housed in a large floor-standing chassis and typically requires a 240-volt line. The design is fully balanced and differential, with build quality akin to fine machinery. The sound is colossal. It drives any speaker with absolute authority, yet the Class A operation ensures a purity and smoothness that is natural and emotionally engaging.
From Germany, the Acoustic Arts Mono VI Monoblocks deliver immense power with precision engineering. Each Mono VI is rated at over 950 watts into 8 ohms and 1500 watts into 4 ohms. This is achieved using 20 high-current MOSFET output transistors per monoblock, each with its own massive shielded toroidal transformer and over 110,000 microfarads of filter capacitance. A unique feature is a switchable damping factor for perfect speaker control. These handmade in Germany amplifiers are lauded for combining solid-state grip with almost tube-like musicality, offering a slight warmth in the mid-range while maintaining absolute control over the bass.
MSB Technology, famed for its cost no-object DACs, applies the same innovation to their M500 monoblock amplifiers. Rated at 500 watts into 8 ohms and nearly 1,000 watts into 4 ohms, the M500s feature a modular design in sleek, built aluminum chassis. Each unit contains a unique 1.0 farad power core, an enormous energy storage ensuring stable voltage rails under heavy demand. A matched impedance input stage allows the amp to be driven directly by MSB's DACs, creating the purest possible signal path. The sound is described as extremely neutral and transparent with a lightning-fast transient response, letting the music flow unimpeded.
Hello, I'm Daniel Goldman, co-owner and industrial designer here at MSB Technology. Today, I'd like to take some time to share some updates to the 500 series amplifier. Both the mono and stereo versions of this amplifier still feature the same great performance that pairs so well with our DAC's ultra-high dynamic range. Based around a fully modular CNC billet core design, we have been able to implement progressive production practices and testing for industry-leading reliability and in-the-field repairs. The S500 features a discretely designed Class A matched impedance input stage, along with a full 1 farad of capacitance, which minimizes signal reflections, input noise, and distortion, while also maximizing power transfer and dynamic range in a zero-negative feedback design. With 2 custom low-noise, high-current toroidal transformers and rugged high-current output buffers, the 500 series amplifiers provide a transparent, holographic listening experience that's completely fatigue-free. The 500 series amplifiers feature several controls and setting options to customize your listening experience. There is a gain setting with 3 levels, depending on your speaker efficiency. We also have an input impedance option that can be customized based on your cables and DAC. Power can be controlled by the buttons on the front of the unit, remote, or the 12-volt trigger option. We also have a selectable delay for power startup that can help reduce power surge on your system. Each amplifier has 2 sets of outputs. Even the mono amplifier has 2. These allow the cables to lay in a comfortable position without strain, based on your system orientation. The main focus of this design refresh was the industrial design. We wanted every aspect of the amp to be as striking as the music it reproduces. Looking to inspiration from our highest-end DACs, we wanted to incorporate more curves and organic lines in the product design. Harnessing the power of our new automation machine center, we are able to use 5-axis strategies to make our most complex designs yet. The heatsink billet has more than 60% of its material machined away with fin thicknesses that slightly vary to help reduce resonances and ringing. Every heatsink takes over 10 hours of precision machine runtime. For heat management and device performance, each amplifier features up to 13 custom high-power heat pipes. It is critical to keep devices at similar and consistent temperatures for performance and part longevity. Out-of-sight locations, such as deep within the heatsink slots, have beautiful curved profiles. Even the base metal now features gorgeous flowing contours, along with a new 3-foot configuration for shallower platforms or shelves. The longer and closer you look, the more refinements and attention to detail you will see with this amp. But we didn't stop there. We also took a look at the shipping experience. We went back to the drawing board to find a better solution that protects such high-end electronics on their way to the listening room. We now have our very own wood CNC shop where we create in-house custom shipping crates for our amplifiers. Built out of sturdy plywood with interlacing joints, we have a solution that will keep our products safe door to door. When opened, the amplifier presents itself on an easy-to-handle platform for setup and installation. We're very excited with the performance we've been able to achieve with the 500 series amplifier. We can't wait to hear more customer stories of how this has changed the listening experience for so many people.
Finally, we reach the summit of this list, and what a peak it is. The Dan DiAgostino Relentless Epic 1600 Monoblocks are perhaps the most jaw-dropping amplifiers ever created, in both performance and price. As the name suggests, each Relentless Epic 1600 is capable of 1600 watts into 8 ohms, and if that's not insane enough, it doubles to 3200 watts into 4 ohms and 6400 watts into 2 ohms when run on a 220+ volt line. Those figures are nearly unheard of in consumer audio. We're talking kilowatts of ultra-clean power that can drive literally anything. To achieve this, each monoblock has a 5.5 kilovolt amperes, yes, kilovolt amp power transformer and over 600,000 microfarads of filter capacitance. The output stage uses more than 100 output devices. A special super rail circuit optimizes the delivery of all this juice so that even at full tilt, the amp remains linear and low distortion. In fact, DiAgostino's design avoids global negative feedback, relying on the symmetry of the output stage to cancel distortion, a unique approach that requires everything to be near perfect in matching amp behavior. The Epic 1600 is an evolution of the original Relentless, with revised input and driver stages that increased output current by 300% and raised the bias into Class A even further. In terms of sound, there's almost no comparison. The Relentless amps convey music with a scale and ease that reviewers often say they've never experienced elsewhere. When powering big speaker systems, they bring about dynamics that truly rival live concerts, yet they are also incredibly nuanced, capable of the softest whispers of detail as much as earth-shaking crescendos. The imaging is pinpoint, the control is absolute. Damping factor is extremely high, though DiAgostino cheekily doesn't even bother quoting it, it's evident in the sound. The aesthetic is pure DiAgostino, the machined metal chassis with copper accents, the trademark analog meter inspired by luxury watches, and the overall industrial art look that makes them as much a visual centerpiece as an audio one. Dan DiAgostino, the founder, formerly of Krell, intended these to be the last amplifiers one would ever need, and in that mission, he succeeded, assuming one can afford them and accommodate their size, each weighing over 500 pounds. The name Relentless is apt. They never relent in their pursuit of delivering every last drop of performance. Simply put, the Relentless Epic 1600 monoblocks are beyond overkill. They are an ultimate expression of what's possible in amplifier design and a fitting capstone to our journey from budget to the very best.
We thought for the last one, we'd go out with a bang. We'd show the biggest system that we've ever put on display publicly anywhere. We have a number of customers out in the world that have these systems in their homes, but this exact system, in their homes. But this is the first time we've had it public at a trade show. And what makes it different for us is we have our Relentless preamp as the main focus of the system, and it's driving 2 pairs of our flagship amplifier, the Relentless Epic 1600s. And again, we've done the Epics out in the world in different incarnations, but this is the first time we've done it 2 pairs, driving a pair of speakers, in this case the Wilson speakers, a wonderful partner of ours. We have a number of products that we showed last year that are finally into production and really doing very well for us. Our Momentum C2 preamplifier that we showed a prototype of last year is now in full production, as well as our integrated amplifier, our new Pendulum integrated, which is the beginning of our lineup. And again, we showed that in a prototype form last year, and now that is also in full production. It steals a lot of technology from its bigger brothers and has this wonderful big D'Agostino sound in a small package, but with a lot of punch. 120 watts of power into 8 ohms, 240 into 4 ohms. It's a real D'Agostino, but in a nice compact package. So it's a great show. It always is here in Munich, so we hope you get by and hear this unbelievable system that we've put together, as well as all the other ones that we have. There's 3 other live systems here with our products. So fantastic to be here in Munich, and hopefully you get to see this stuff in your local dealer around the world.
We've traveled from amplifiers costing a few $100s to ones costing as much as a house, and the theme throughout has been technical excellence at each price point. Whether it's the humble Emotiva BasX giving newcomers a taste of high-end sound, or the D'Agostino Relentless redefining the bounds of physics and engineering, each amp on this list has something special to offer. As prices climb, the returns diminish, but the pride of ownership and the sheer listening experience can be transcendent. The best amplifier is ultimately the one that makes you forget about the equipment and get lost in the music, be it a budget gem or a cost-no-object masterpiece. We hope this epic tour has shown how amplifiers evolve from great for the money to state-of-the-art, and that it's fueled your excitement for what high-quality power amplification can bring to your audio system. Until next time, happy listening, and remember, the sweetest sound is the one that moves your soul, regardless of the price tag. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, you can check out all these fantastic amplifiers using the links in the description below. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated. See you in the next one.